Sometimes people are asked to give a speech or a presentation within a conference style setup, something like this, with a stage area and a large screen behind them. And I'm finding that a lot of people these days are very used to giving virtual presentations, but they've got little or no experience in terms of talking to people face to face, even in a small environment, let alone a big conference style setup. So I thought it would be useful to put together a short video that just gives you some key tips around the use of a stage area. So the first thing is that you want to really work out how you're going to utilize the stage or the floor area that you've got, even if it isn't a stage. And you want to make sure that you are center stage, as it were, in the sense that not everything should be built around slides. You are part and parcel of the speech or presentation, and you should be very much a central figure in that. So looking at this setup here, we've got various options that we can look at. So the first one is that you have this podium here. You could, of course, take the option of standing behind that, and you've got, in this case, the benefit of some microphones here to help project out your voice. You could put some notes here. The downside, of course, is that you're going to end up with a bit of a barrier. People are not seeing so much of you. So another option is to stand slightly to the side, where you've still got a microphone that could pick you up. You can still have notes that you can look at. If your notes are big enough, you can see them from a bit of a distance, and that gives you a second option. A third option, of course, is to actually be able to move away from the podium altogether. Now that would dictate that either you're going to need a clip-on microphone, or you're just going to need to project out your voice so that you fill up the room with your voice. And the larger the room, of course, the more you need to project your voice. And that's a skill in itself, which I can teach you if need be. But you want to be thinking about that, because there may be times where actually you do want to be literally center stage, assuming that you haven't got something really important on a slide behind you and you're not going to be stood in the way of that. You can come out front, you can talk to people, maybe tell them a story or give them an example and do it center stage. In this particular context, you've got those steps down and you could come out, you could talk to your audience that way. You can get a bit more of an intimate feel, of course, where you could, again, tell them a story or give them an example of something, and it'll have that intimate, this is just between you and me type feel to it. And then who knows, you may need to step back up onto the stage, because maybe you've got a slide to go to, and find there might be something that you need to point out to people on the slide, so you want them to focus on that. And then who knows, later on, there might be something that's over on the other side of the screen. Fine, so you can walk over here, you could refocus that part of the audience, and you could get people to focus on that side of the screen, because there's something on the slide there that you want people to take in. So I'm sure you get the idea of this, that it's really thinking about, how do I want to use this stage area? Where do I want to be at any stage within the speech or the presentation? And make sure that you are very much center stage, you are part and parcel of the way that the whole thing comes across. And I hope that helps you for the future. If you want any further training or coaching on this, feel free to get in touch.